let's talk more about moves then. So we've
Mm.
learned a lot over the past couple of weeks. It all sort of kicked off a few weeks ago with a double signing of Cam Archer and Matty Fernandez. So that was just before Newcastle. And it was Leslie Ogachukwu as well. Sorry, Leslie Ogachukwu, because he was announced the following morning after Archer. So Archer was thrown straight on the bus up to Newcastle, and he went on the first day of signing. So, what do you make of that one so far? The fee was
around 15, wasn't
I believe
it?
around 18 million all told. What do you make of? What do you think of Cam Archer? I think that was with add-ons. So I think it was 15, potential to rise to 18, but I think a lot of it depends on if we stay up X, Y, and Z, or maybe if he scores goals or whatever. But what do you make of it? Because the Villa fans, some of them were quite split, but overall they seem pretty gutted to have lost him on a permanent.
Yeah, no, they were. He's had a couple of decent loan spells as well. No, I think he'd be good for us. Apparently, it's someone we've been looking at for a while. I don't think this is. We tried to get him last summer. Apparently, somebody that's been on our radar. You can see why we wanted him when he did what he did last night. The 2 goals he scored are really good. He's got a bit of both, cuts inside. He's got a lot about him. I would love to see him starting at the weekend. I think it's a good bit of business, Josh. I really do. I think he's a stunning bit of business for us. Absolutely fits everything that we need right now. I still think we need another option up front if they can't get Ross Stewart fit. I think there's a lot of eggs being thrown into that basket that he will probably make a comeback, Ross Stewart, and he'd be that different option for us. So you got Archer is a bit smaller, a bit more nippy, and a bit more pacey and power. Got a little bit of power about him. Where I think that with Stewart, he's a slightly different player from what I've seen. A bit taller, a bit bulky, maybe not as pacey. So I still think you need a couple of options up front. If he got injured, we'd have a little bit of a problem. If they both got injured, we don't have loads of options through the middle. You see what happened Saturday when we don't play a 9. We've been all sorts of problems. But Chelsea fans I spoke to on Leslie Ogachukwu were like really positive about him as a player. I think he's a really, really good bit of business, actually. He kind of, him and Flynn Downs together in some of the big games actually be really good. Man United at home in a couple of weeks. That partnership's got potential with somebody that can have legs to break from midfield, whether you play a Rebo or you then got the option of Smallbone playing in the 8. You could potentially use Mateus Fernandez, Tyler Dibbling. There's loads of little options that you could start playing with those 3. But I think he'd play a bit more of a role than what I actually initially thought he was going to. After watching him last night, Ogachukwu, I think he's a monster. Big Les, they're going to call him, aren't they? But yeah, shrewd little bit of business to bring him in. Well chuffed. I think the business what we've actually done is not bad, actually. I think it's been okay. We'll talk about the next couple players that could potentially come in. I think we're not far away from what we probably needed.
Yeah, I think we're this time next week when we sit down and have a chat, we'll be able to fully analyse how our window was. I know that I believe the Turkish league and a couple of other leagues, their window is past that point. So if we aren't able to shift the likes of Kamaldeen, Paul Onuachu, Bella Kotchap, there's still a chance for them to leave within sort of after the week's end. But obviously, on incomings, we'll know exactly where we are and whether we're fully pleased with it. But I'm in agreement with so far. I think it's been positive. I love the Cam Archer signing. I tweeted saying I think it's a snip, and it will prove to be a snip. I think.
Yeah, get goals.
I mean, I'll get goals. I mean, you look at the types of goals he scores. He's not. I'm going to sit on the very last man and wait to tap the ball in, but he's also not. I'm going to take it from 30 yards and only try and score worldies. He's a very much an instinct striker, which I like to call it. He's very much like last night was a perfect example. That first goal was a perfect example because he took the ball on the half turn with his back to goal, and his only thought was touch, shoot. And we've not had that for a long time. For a long time, we've not had that. We don't have that type of player, and he's very strong on both feet by the looks of it. Because first goal was left, second goal was right, and they were both as good as each other.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Watch.
brilliant to watch. Love that. And again, like you said, Big Les, shout out to him because he was outstanding last night. It almost looked like at one point that the Cardiff players didn't want to press him because they're like, "How am I going to get the ball off this guy? He's just so big. His presence is amazing. He's so calm on the ball. He was just brilliant for his age. He's fantastic. He's been playing for a while. I think he made his pro debut at like 16, 17. So he's been playing for a while for a guy who's so young. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, I don't think we'll see him past this season, but for this season, excellent signing. Yeah. So after that, we made the signings of, because we've already covered a few. Well, Matty Fernandez, Mateus Fernandez, and was that it? Is it only Matty Fernandez for now? I think it might be.
Fernandez, yeah, that covers everyone
and stuff. Obviously, we did have.
Obviously, the time of recording that.
Yeah,
the time of recording. Obviously, there's. Yeah, we did have one. Well, it's funny. I'll give you my spiel on this, and what I might be totally talking out on this one. So we go in for Justin Bilo, the goalkeeper. I think he was on our list. I think Aaron Ramsdale was our number one choice, personally. I think that's who they wanted. I think Jason Steele, from the people I know in the game, they were really keen on him. They made 2 bids for him from people that I know. Obviously, he's playing at Brighton at the moment. They have an injury to their first team goalkeeper, so they're not going to let him go, are they? So Ramsdale is available. He was going to Wolves last week. And that collapses at the same time that we've got Justin Bilo over here for a medical. And then all of a sudden, if we thought it's too risky doing it with this goalkeeper because he's broke his wrist twice, I was told the other day that he's got a horrific calf issue and he's not 100% fit. Did we think all of a sudden Rambo's available now? He's got a house down in Bournemouth. He loves it down here. Let's go and get Aaron. And they've done it. Pretty much, it looks like they've done it, doesn't it? It looks like they've done it because
I'm trying not to get too excited about it yet because it's not fully announced, but it looks done. It looks like it's deal sealed done. But yeah, so yeah,
because Fabrizio Romano tweeted about the other goalkeeper and said it was a done deal. He was coming, didn't he? And
it was
the same about this one.
Done. It was done.
I thought he failed his medical. I thought he would. That goalkeeper, I had a feeling.
There was a few questions over injuries, didn't he? So Matty Fernandez come in last week, just before the Forest game. He only had a couple of days, and then he was on the bench. Came on, played well. Obviously, played excellent last night. So we know he's what he can bring. Then Justin Bilo was on the plane to come. We thought, oh, he'll be done and ready to go in net against Cardiff. Try him out. And then you see all this stuff. Oh, Ramsdale to Wolves. It's like, oh, all the stars are aligning. We've clearly got our man. You know, people are weighing up saying, "Oh, was it worth getting Ramsdale on the big loan and the big wages, or is it worth getting Bilo on a permanent? You know, he's a great goalkeeper, Dutch international, X, Y, and Z." I was kind of in the Bilo camp for a little bit because I was thinking, well, if the reported fees are right, the overall loan for Ramsdale is going to cost us nearly 10 million, and we're going to sign Bilo for 8 million euros, all in. You know, so I thought if his injuries are gone, like supposedly gone, like he says, and he's willing, and because there's so many reports coming out that he wants to fight for his place back in the Dutch squad, and that he can't wait to play in the Premier League and all this sort of stuff. And then it went weird. It was like the wind changed a bit. And I remember I messaged you and I said, I'm not sure how this has happened because, and I said it was a bit. I said to you, I found it strange that Martin never singled him out in a press conference where everyone else he's been quite open with. He always said that Bilo is one on the list. He never said anything else. It was, he's one on the list. Maybe it'll be him, maybe not. And that was even after the Fabrizio tweet and saying, Alan Blackmore put it to him that he's having a medical and X, Y, and Z. And Martin was like, oh, is he? I didn't know. So, he's one on the list. Maybe it'll be him. Maybe
he distanced himself from it, didn't he? In that presser.
Didn't he? A lot. And even after the Forest game, it was like he was asked, he said, oh, it looks done. It was like, oh, Fabrizio said it's done. And he was like, oh, well, he's one of the names on the list, X, Y, and Z. And I'm thinking, that's not a very Russell Martin response because usually he's quite he's quite upfront with it, and he'll say, "Yeah, yeah, it'll be excellent for us." Like even said that Shea Charles had gone to Sheffield Wednesday like 48 hours before it had been announced. He said, "Yeah, it'll be great for Wednesday." But he's usually quite open with it, and that one he just would not show his cards at all, which is strange. And then obviously you get the whole news that he's failed his medical, and you only get that news from his Instagram. It's like, what is going on? This is bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. So I'm kind of in your camp that maybe we were waiting for Arsenal. Maybe it was a game of poker. Maybe we were waiting for Arsenal to sweat and show first. Maybe that's what we were doing. And I don't care if we did or not. I think it's excellent. And the reported fee. I mean, what would you make of that? If that's the fee we're getting him for, when they were demanding 30 million. They're demanding 30 million. He's an England international.
Yeah, he's an England international, and he's a great goalkeeper. He's been playing at a club that have come close to winning the league in the last 2 seasons. Yeah, he didn't play a lot last season because David Raya went in there. He prefers David Raya for many reasons. That Ramsdale, look, he's not faultless. He's not. No. I've watched his goals back actually, and he concedes a few sloppy goals. But you know what? In terms of goalkeeper, compared to what we've got, I looked at some of his statistics today on the Daily Echo. Alfie House has done a really good article on him actually, and it's really good. I won't give all of it away, but you can read it. You can read it on the Saints web. It was really really interesting. His metrics are absolutely tremendous, and you can't get away from it. He plays in the side that probably don't face as many efforts as Southampton will do, but he'd just be commanding. It bring an air of so much to us, and when it was down to the 2, I was gutted that he wasn't coming on the weekend. I was like, I really wanted him because the England international was a real sign of intent. You bring in a world-class goalkeeper, top draw human, be great in the dressing room. From what I hear, he's a lovely bloke. I've been on Instagram Live talking about Goldie gloves, and he's jumped on and he's told us how many gloves he's had. I literally want to go and sit down with him if I get the opportunity this season, and I will make it happen because he fascinates me as a human being. His dad would be down there. It'd just be a nice story. The kids love him, and he'd just be brilliant. It would be brilliant for us. It'd be so much better than what we've got right now. He'd be worth 9 to 12 points for us if this signing happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. A shot stopper, a proper one, is worth at least 9, 10, 12 points.
Yeah.
You look at when we had Fraser Forster when he was on fire, how many points that bloke was worth to us, especially in the last full Ralph season when McCarthy got injured. He was worth his weight in gold. He did, and that was why I was absolutely bemused that we let him go and signed McCarthy on the deal instead. But that's another story. That's for another day.
We had a decent goalkeeper last season, Josh. We get automatics with a decent goalkeeper last year. I honestly do. I like Gavin. I like him but he's young. His statistics are not great again.
No.
We needed a proper goalkeeper. We've needed this for a long time since Fraser went. We needed to bring in a top. The one thing that let us down last time around in the Premier League was we had a young goalkeeper with a really inexperienced back four, and it cost us time and time again. At least by doing this, it gives you a better spine. Him, Stevens, Downs in midfield, and then if you end up with another striker in potentially, the spine of the team looks so much better. The core looks better for me than the last time round.
Totally agree. I totally agree. We'd definitely be stronger than we were last time round, and I was the same as you, but I wasn't as gutted that it wasn't him because I'd sort of, as soon as I saw our names linked with it, I'd automatically just resign to the fact that we're not going to get him because that's not us. We don't get players like Ramsdale. We don't go and spend that sort of money on a goalkeeper. We don't break the wage structure. I'm not saying we have. We might not have done. We may well have managed to somehow do it within the wage structure, but that was mentioned so many times because of the financial constraints we do have is wage structure. So I thought there's no chance. So I just resigned myself to the fact that we weren't getting him and looking forward to the new guy, getting behind the new guy, whoever it was. And now it's happening. I saw it. I was like, it felt like Christmas. I was like, what is happening? I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This is actually going to happen. And yeah, I mean, we haven't yet got the announcement. So and if we don't get it in the next 20 minutes or so, it may be that we get it sort of tomorrow. But hopefully it's all good and it's done as we expect it is. But yeah, I can't believe we're getting it done. Since we come on, Martin, we've been linked by Fabrizio Romano. Not just linked, he actually says the deal's very close for a loan move for Maxwell Cornet from West Ham.
Yeah,
What's your view on it? What do you think of him, sort of as a player? I know he's not had the best of
terrible
chances
time at West
at West
Ham.
Ham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
really
He
bad
was good at
chances at
Burnley,
West Ham.
wasn't he? Yeah,
Hmm.
I
And
was just reading a bit
Leon as
while.
well.
Yeah, I've just been reading a bit about him now online. Whilst we've been on the pod, and they were saying that last season he just didn't play any games. A calf injury, which saw him miss the 22-23 season, and he only started 3 games last season. He shone at Burnley with 9 goals in 26 games. Is it a gamble? I don't think it is on a loan. I don't think it is. He's an upgrade on what we've got out wide at the moment. You've got to be honest. I think Brereton Diaz and Adam Armstrong probably playing those wide positions unless he's going to decide to play Ben Brereton Diaz through the middle a bit. I like to see that happen, actually. I think he gives you a slightly
Hmm.
different profile, a totally different
Hmm.
way to attack certain games. And you can use
Cornet
Cornet.
can also play as a false 9 or a 10. So
Yeah.
you could see him through the middle at points as well.
Yeah, I think it's a sensible bit of business, actually. They get this one over the line. He'll be looking to get his career going. We've got 2 players potentially coming in tomorrow on deadline day that are looking to get their careers on track. Aaron's been one of those. He's going to want to force his way back into the England squad. He was left out today. No surprise, he's not playing football, is he? So he's got no opportunity getting in the England squad. And Cornet, again, he want to reunite his career as well. You've got hungry players. You've got young, hungry players pushing through to get into the first team as well now. I think we're in a far better place than when we were in the Premier League last time. Yeah, it's not been the greatest start in terms of results, but it's early days, and I think there's some encouraging signs with the business being done. Cornet, I think this will be a shrewd little bit of business. I really do.
Shrewd is the word, 100%. Do you think that this is we're sort of taking the path of the whole point to prove thing, because it's worked, isn't it, for us
Mm,
so far? I mean, Martin came in after in fairness, Nathan Jones recalled Jan Bednarek, and all of us were scratching our heads saying,
mm,
"Why have we recalled Jan Bednarek?" And he
mm,
didn't really show much in the Premier League to prove why we did recall him. And then last
mm,
season, Martin showed why we recalled him, and really said, "Well, no, he's got a point to prove." We signed Ryan
mm,
Fraser on near to deadline day on loan, and we were saying, "Why have we done that? Like, he's supposedly this awful character in the dressing room, X, Y, and Z." And he said, "Well, he's got a point to prove." And it
mm,
worked. So we're signing these guys who really do have a point to prove, and they're proving it. Frankly, I mean, you could even
mm,
argue that Adam Armstrong had a massive point to prove last season after the couple of seasons he
mm,
had, and my God, did he prove it? So
mm.
maybe we're kind of taking that approach. Do you like that approach, or do you think it's slightly riskier than you'd sort of hope for?
No, because not. I don't think it's too risky because I think we have a manager and I think we have a team of staff where they're incredibly good people persons. I think Russell is a brilliant, brilliant man manager. I've said it many, many times. Somebody said to me the other day, he's too friendly with the players. I don't think he's too friendly with the players. I just think he's a good man manager. And he's young, so he's trying to get respect for them. But I think if you're a young player and you're looking to get your career going, and you spoke to Russell Martin, you want to go and play for him. I think you want to go and play for him. I think the philosophy, the way he wants to play football is really good. It's brave. It's exciting when it comes off. You look in the playoffs and what we did against West Brom on that second leg. It was brilliant. Some of the games we played last season, some of the football, some of the things he asks of players is incredible. I think actually he's come away from it a little bit this season. I think he's tried to make us a little bit harder to beat and a bit more compact. I think he just needs to get the balance right now with the right personnel. But I think it's brave what we're doing. I think it's really brave. I do think, mate, there'll be some outgoings next couple of days. I've just been reading a couple of bits as well while we're talking. I think there will be a fair bit of movement in the next 24 hours, mate, for sure.
Yeah, I've literally just been doing the same on outgoings as well. I was just going to bring that up to you. So, I mean, ideally, you probably want to see 3 or 4, maybe 5 leave.
Yeah.
I mean, you've obviously got your. I mean, Charlie's gone, so that's one.
Yeah.
You've got Armel Bella-Kotchap, who's another who
Played well last night when he come on. Played
he
really
did
well.
play well. He did play
I put him in
well,
the shop
and
window though. I just put him on the shop window.
that's literally he said that himself, didn't he? After the game, he said,
He
"Just
said he's
prove
his
to the
sixth choice
world."
centre back.
Yeah, he said it's proved to the world that he's fit and he can play. So
Mm.
you know, he doesn't need to prove to us that he's fit and he can play. He's clearly fit and he can play. So if he was our first or second choice, he'd be around the team, but he's not, is he? So I don't know whether that's it's pure speculation. I don't know why that is. Whether he doesn't think he suits the style, whether he's too injury prone, or whether he's not the character for the dressing room that we think he is. We don't know. We're not there day in day out. We do not know. I'm not saying that I think any of those ways because I'm not there. I don't know, but we clearly don't see him as part of the plans. So hopefully he can find somewhere where he can play because he really, for someone, he will do a job. He's a fantastic footballer, and he's so young. He's got so much ahead of him. I just think that Martin's right in the media coverage of that Hoffenheim deal was pretty destructive, and it was not on the way that they reported on this heart problem as if it was like something brand new that this has just found out and he's got a bad problem, and it wasn't that at all. It was completely blown out, and that is really destructive media, and that is not what it's about. That is bad. That's really, really bad from whoever wrote that article. Paul Nuachu's another one. Got to get rid of Paul, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got to.
Yeah, it looks
Paul
like
on.
he's going to go to Transport finally. We didn't make the squad last night. It looks like he's going to go. He's never going to fit in Russell Martin's plan, so I think he'd go. Bella-Kotchap, I think, will still go. There's talk tonight of Manning with a possible exit. They believe there's a bit of interest around him. And the other big one is a man that cost us a lot of money. Is Kamaldeen Sulemana. What are we going to do with Kamaldeen Sulemana? He's just about fit again now. Apparently, he's on the grass. I watch him on Instagram and read some of his stuff. Honestly, he does made in. He's done nothing since he's been here for 25 million we spent on him. He's been absolutely crap. Move him on, reinvest the money elsewhere. I just don't see what he's ever going to bring to us. I might be totally wrong, but absolutely infuriates me. He's always injured. Always injured.
It makes you question whether not that I'm questioning his integrity as a human being, but whether the club are fronting other things for injuries. It does really seem strange how he's never there ever. Like it's very, very odd. It's a strange one. I mean, I'm just looking now at some of the tweets. It'd be so good to see Kamaldeen, frankly, off the wage bill, and out playing somewhere where he can play. We can recoup a bit of money and possibly go again in January if we need to. But yeah, Kamaldeen, I'd love to see him out the door. The Manning one's interesting. I haven't seen too much about that. Although it would be a surprise. I know he hasn't been around the squad so far, and that did surprise me anyway, because Russell Martin loves him. But I'm not too sure. Obviously, it was a free transfer, so anything we get on him, anything we get on him would be profit. But that would surprise me, given the history he's got with Russell Martin, if he's out the door straight away. But yeah, again, he didn't feature last night, did he? So
no.
Yeah,
I think he'd go. I think he'd be gone. He's got Charlie Taylor as backup as well. Juan Larios was in the squad last night. So yeah, I'd expect him to go probably tomorrow, to be honest.
Yeah, very strange. And if he does, he'll go with my best wishes, because I thought he was made a scapegoat a lot last season. I thought attacking wise, he was brilliant at parts, and if he does go, I'll remember him for the championship cameo and shift that he put in for us, because he was excellent. So, and I think Charlie Taylor's an excellent bit of business as well to get in, just while we're on that. But yeah, lots and lots and lots to go on, mate. I'm sure we'll be keeping across it on social media. So if you are interested in that tomorrow and onwards throughout, make sure you're following us both. Our social medias have been on the tickers below. You can rewind and find them.